Live. So, hey guys, welcome back to the day 11 of the DSA series. And let's start this series again. Okay. So, in the day 11, in the previous, we have just solved the number system, all the questions, and focusing on pattern printing. And today's streaming session, we will be just completely dedicated to pattern printing question. Okay, I don't good in pattern printing, but before printing the pattern, we just go to the indentation, then we have just try to dry run, and then just write a code from the any AI models, and then we will understood how the code that is in work. And if you are just watching the streaming for the first time, make sure you can just hit the like button and subscribe my YouTube channel. And if you have any question, you can just simply ask me in the chat. But before starting the stream session, I will just simply check that how well my voice quality has been in the streaming because sometimes we are facing a problem during the live stream. Okay. And if you have any doubts, let me know in the chat. And before starting the stream session, just make you think you need to know that I wasn't completely beginner, so if I was stuck, it's completely normal. Just don't be treated as a serious, right? I will just go live every single day to just maintain a consistency while working as a night shift corporate job. Okay. So in the day 11, in the previous, we have just solved the number system, all the questions, and focusing on pattern printing. And today's streaming session, so I can see that my voice quality has been very clear. And now I just let's moving to the solving questions. But before question, just here is the previous question. We have to just print a right angle triangle. For that, this here is the code. So I just simply comment this code, and now try run this code again because in the previous we have just quick go through on this code but don't understand it deeply. So you can see that this is two loop has been running in the trigger. For that is outer loop. Okay. This is an outer loop, outer loop for rows, and this is a inner loop for column. Okay. This is a loop for row. So you can see that this is the row and this is the column. So this loop has been run from while n less than 1. Okay, so if n is 5 and I plus 1, that's mean in the loop we have a 3. It will take a 3 argument. The first one is the starting point, second is the stopping point, and the third is step point. Okay, so we have to just moving to how it's work. Okay, so you can see that this is a let j starting from the 1 and less than until it will reach the I. Okay, so what does it mean? If the j value has been 1 and I value has also been 1 and j plus plus 1. So process dot start std out right. Okay, this is code, so it will not moving to the another line before it's done it. Okay, so for that we have used a process dot std out dot write. We can use a console.log, right? But it will be just simply and the statement and moving to the next. So that's why we have using a process.std out. So when its loop will be run, it was simply printing the one star. You can see that the first loop is started, go there, one loop, and then it's moving to the second, moving again. Okay. So I is 1 and j is less than equal to 2. In initial value has been 2. Okay. So they started from the one, but I value is less than I. So I has been 2 here. Okay. So it will be run print value 1 and then it moving to again. J is 1 and J is less than 2. So it will be 2. Then it's print 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, and all. And that's all. Okay. And here it is. We have just simply comment this. First thing I will run this code, make sure so it's and I and it's work. Okay, of course it worked because it's worked previous also in previous also. Okay, and now let's simply comment this code. And now just moving to the and now just moving to the this statement. Okay, in this statement we can see that we have just simply printing a downward triangle pattern. Okay, downward triangle pattern. Hey guys, currently we have a 4 current viewers who just watching the streaming session. If you are just enjoy the streaming session, just let me know in the chat. Okay. So this is a loop that we have just print the numbers, print the start pattern into a downward triangle. So you can see that the loop is starting from the end. And initially I just simply copy this and I just cut it and down it here. I write it here. So that's mean I has been n. And n is that means they will starting from the 5 and I will be running until it's more than or equal to 1. Okay, that's mean the pattern has been printing that starting from the n number, that's mean suppose be it means 5, 7, 8 or anything. So in the first row, this is the row. Okay, this is the row. This is the this is a downward triangle start pattern has been working. And now let's moving to the another. Okay. And now let's moving to the another. So here you can see that we have question list. So here is the left right angle triangle pattern. Okay. Left right. So left right angle triangle pattern. Okay. So first thing we just go to the here and give me to right and indentation. Okay. Indentation of left right angle triangle pattern. So let's first thing the left right angle triangle, it is the left. I think this is the pattern is also a left angle. Okay. This is also, I think it's a left angle triangle pattern. So it has been already printed. Let me just see that. Okay, this pattern has been already printed. This is a right angle triangle. Okay, I has been okay. This pattern has been also has already print right angle triangle, print right angle triangle pattern. So both are same. So we don't need to print. But next is diamond star pattern, and this is an actually a hard pattern. Okay. So now let's see what is the code of diamond star pattern. And first thing we just see the indentation and then we move into coding part. Okay. Okay. So here you can see that this is the diamond part. That is a completely okay one square and this is. So you can notice two things happen on one row. The number of spaces changes, the number of star changes. Okay, diamond is simple. Okay, lower interval pyramid. Okay. So instead of solving one difficult problem, solve two easy pyramid problem. Okay. Upper half is indentation. Suppose 5 row. Okay. Look carefully. 0 row 4 spaces, 1 row 3 spaces, 2 row 2 spaces, 3 row 1 spaces, 4 row 0 spaces. Okay. So space equal to में n minus row minus 1. Okay. And let's see the code and then we will write it. Okay. So here is the most common diamond pattern use code in JS. Okay, so here is the function print diamond and okay, it is for upper pyramid. Upper pyramid is simply creating a loop, a row starting from the zero and row has been getting less than n and row plus plus. Okay. It's for spaces, we just creating a loop that space from zero and space has been less than equal to n minus row minus one space. Line plus में equal to space. Okay. Stars के लिए for star zero star is equal to में 2 multiplied by rows in plus में 1 plus में star. Line plus में is equal to में star. Console dot log lines. Okay. So here is the code. Let's write the coding part. So I just simply comment this portion. Okay. And use the GitHub Copilot suggestion so it will not suggest any code. So we have just write it by manual way. So here it is. First thing, it's creating a function to printing a print diamond. So first they will just simply follow a structure. First thing, they will creating an upper pyramid. Okay. Upper pyramid, the row starting from the zero. Okay. And row has been less than m and row plus plus row. Left line and this. Okay. So This is little tricky, but let's we start. So function parent type. You can function parent type. Okay. Where we just taking the n value. Okay. Let's here is the loop for that a row. You can let row will be starting from the zero and row that will run until n and row plus plus plus. Row has been less than or equal to n and row plus plus. Okay. Row plus plus. Simple. Row plus plus. And let line is equal to none. Let line is equal to. I think we have to just write a code in JS and explain it also step by step. Okay. So here is the code in JS and explain it step by step. So let's build it from scratch. Instead of memorizing it, I will explain it like you are just getting movement. Okay. So here is the pattern, and this is a print for upper parameter. So once we just creating an upper parameter, we can also print it into reverse, and the lower parameter has been also printed. Okay. So you can see that this is the n, and for let row is equal to starting for. Okay. This is for row. This is for row. Okay. And this is for column. Okay. So first thing, the row has been starting from the zero, and row is until it reaches to five. Okay. So n is five and rows plus this. Together that's mean I have five. That means one, two, three, four, five. So this is five row. Okay. And this is for parent space. So let space is equal to be zero. Okay. Space is starting from the zero, and it will be moving from space is less than space is less than n minus row minus one. Okay. Space row measure up n. Suppose n has five and row is 0 and minus 1. So that's mean a 5 minus 0 minus 1. That's mean a 4. So we have just getting a 4 space here. Okay, let me just count it. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's mean 5 minus row is equal to 0, 0, and this is 1. So that's mean 4. Take a 4 space has been getting here and space plus plus and just simply printing this 4 spaces here. Okay, okay, I got it. So this first thing, this step has been working, and then print spaces. And now print star. So in print star, this is creating a loop there. Let's start starting from the zero. Okay. And it will be running star is less than two. Okay. Two is here. And multiply by row is 0, 2 0 0, and plus by 1. So star plus plus and process of star. So that's mean 2 multiplied by 0 row is in starting it's completely a 0. So 2 is equal to 0 is should be 0 and then plus 1. So just simply printing a 1 here and console.log. That's for simply just break the code into this into so that can move to the next line. Okay. So they can just move to the next line. Okay. By the way, my voice is clear too. My voice is clear. Currently, I have eight viewers, but no one has into the chat. If it is, just let me know in the chat. Okay. If my voice has been clear, just let me know in the chat. Okay. Here it is. So now let's write the code. Okay. So first thing we have just simply print the first pattern. Okay. And once the pattern has been completed, pyramid, the first upper pyramid has been completed, then we created a outer node. Okay. Print spaces. Okay. Print spaces. So 4, click a 4, then space starting from the 0. Okay, starting from the 0, and it will be run space less than or equal to n. Okay, n minus 1, n minus 1. No, no, and it's row minus page plus process dot htd out dot write dot write. Okay, this is for space, and the next is print space. Next is print stars. For loop started. Okay, so this is the simplest starting from the 0, and space in the starting row minus 1. Okay, row minus 1, and space is plus. Okay, simple. We're just simply creating a space also. And here we just write a program for stars. So for let okay, star has been starting from the 0. Okay, and run until star is less than or equal to 2 multiply by rows plus 1. Okay, and star plus plus. Okay, star plus plus. And here we just simply write process dot std out dot write. Okay, write star. Console dot log. Okay, function is successfully created. So now it's time to call the function. So print diamond and n should be 5, and I just simply run this code, run this program. Okay, it is given error row is not defined. So let me just check that. Okay, I think it's row, it's not rows. And now, okay, so now you can see that this code has been working, but it was not a star pattern. I think they will taking space in a wrong way. First thing, let me just check the code. Let me just simply check the code. Okay, space starting from the n minus row minus 1, n minus print spaces has been let space is equal to me starting from the 0, and space is equal to me, okay, n minus row minus, okay, n minus space is equal to me n minus row minus, okay. So here it is working, but still it's not forward because it's not printing the one. So okay, I can just simply remove this code from the function. Okay, we actually don't need it, this function. Okay, so here I can just now I run it this code. Okay, still the one has been not given in the output. Row 0, row is less than equal to, I think it is less than or equal to. If it is less than, I think now. So it's, I think its problem comes from let space 0. The space is less than equal to n minus row. -1 space plus crossing towards out and just 0 less than 2 into make both plus 1 start plus and starts with the 0. Okay, the complete code has been correct, but still it was not printing the first star value. I think it's something has an issue. So let me just, did you see any, bro, DSA is not mandatory, but it's very important according to interview perspective because I has been rejected in all around 2 to 3 interview because of not good in DSA. Okay, so I think DSA is it important. If you are good in development, that's mean you are a very elite person, then you can expect it. You can just get a job. But in the interview process, DSA is really important. You are not so good hardcore elite coder, elite programmer, but still you have to be a good in a DSA to crack any interview, any technical interview. Okay, so make sure you will be just preparing a DSA. Okay, 0 and okay. So this is the part. Okay, so and is now there's a 10 and row is plus plus. Now let space is equal to 0 and space is equal to less than or equal to. Okay, why it's not printing the one first star also? Why? I still understand. Just suppose if I just simply copy this code. Okay, I copy this code and comment this code part. You can comment this code part and now just paste it here and now I simply run it as code. So they just give me an error of n. Okay, n is not defined, but n is already defined it here. N has been already declared. So okay, so if n is already declared, so I simply remove this and I run this code again. And here I can see that this in this code, the first time has been printed successfully, but in my code it's not. So I first thing I will just compare my code from the copy code, so I can just see how how our code has been different from that. Okay, how our code is different from that. So I can just simply see this is a let row is starting with 0. The row has been less than an n, a row plus plus, and print spaces has been also let space starting from the 0, space has been less than n minus 1, and row minus 1, space 1, print out process out, and print stars and 0 stars. Okay, so if I can just simply comment this code and uncomment this code and is let n is equal to 7. Take a let n is equal to 7 and it should be a less than or equal. And now I will simply just run this code so I can see that now it's working. Okay, so the problem was simple. Ki whenever I just printing and star, it should be a less than 2 into my multiplier. That's mean it is equal to or 2. So if the condition was not met, that's why it will be print only 2. Less than 2 means that 1 has been also considered. Okay, so star is 0, 0 multiplied by 2 is 0, and then multiply by rho plus by 1, so it should be 1. And then 1 star has been printed successfully. Okay. And what if I have to just creating the same pattern into a reverse format? So what I have to do? That that is the next point. Okay. So should I have to just copy it from the code rather than from this? I can just simply creating another loop with the help of that and then try to write a code again. Okay. So this DSA streamer. Hey guys, welcome back to the stream, guys. I will see you after a very long period of time. Welcome to my stream. Okay. So first thing, now what I can do, I can just simply creating a for loop. Okay. So for loop where let rows is rows is starting from the end. Okay. Starting from the end and run until rows, not rows, row. Okay. Starting from the end and run until row is less than or equal to zero. Okay. 0 less than equal to 0 and row plus plus. Okay. So this program, this code for the row, and here you can just simply write a loop for print spaces. Okay. Print spaces. Okay. And for print spaces, we just write a loop for let the space is starting from 0 and space has been run starting from the 0. No, not space is also starting from the end. Okay. And space is, I think if they can overwrite it, this code. So first thing, what can I do? You can just simply write row 1 and row 1 and row 1. I think it will not give me an error of declaration value because it will be considered as a string because I combined it. Okay. So row 1 and row 1 and take it. Admin spaces, the space 1 starting from the end and space 1 should be less than, okay, starting from the end and less than has been, it will be n plus 1 and space 1 plus plus. Okay. First thing I will just try to write a code and once if it's not working, then I will try it. Hello friend, what's up? And brother, how's your life going? Life is going on and off. By the way, it's still better because I was currently employed. I have a job, but yeah, the job salary is not good. But yeah, still I have a job now, so it is good. No, I'm not earning any money from the YouTube. I have not so much subscribers or even not so good much views, so I not earn money from the YouTube now. But yeah, I can just believe myself if was consistent and creating a good quality content in long term. Yeah, I should be monetized. It should be monetized. Okay. It should be monetized. DSA given. It should be. Okay. Okay. And cross process start std out dot write space. So in that row one is n plus one. Star one starting from the n and star two. So brother, have you started? Not. I'm not earning any kind of money from the YouTube now. Okay. So here is the code, and this is the let space from zero. So this print space starts from the row zero, and spaces is four, rows is one, spaces three, rows two, three, four, three, two. So they were simply printed the value. And second in the loop. Okay. And now let's output after the upper bracket. And now it's time to print the lower bound. And lower bound is just creating a loop from n starting minus n minus 2 rows to plus 1. Okay, let me just go to here. Okay. Okay. So there is the complete diamond pattern. Okay, there is the complete diamond pattern. And here is the code. Okay. Diamond pattern. Okay. Here is the diamond pattern. Okay. So diamond pattern. Here is the row starting from the zero. I have been, this part has been cleared completely. Let's move into this part. This is the row, and row is that means n minus 2. So n minus 2 in the n has 7 and 7 minus 2. So 7 minus 2 it should be 5. Okay. So 5 is equal to, so to the row is more than equal to 0 and row minus minus. So space careful, let space is starting from 0. Okay. And then it will be until n minus row minus 5. Okay. So n minus row minus 5 space and process of study out dot right. Okay. So this is not very hard because simply just suppose in this loop, they will starting from n minus 2. In the initial start, the loop value is 7. So it's 5 and row has been more than equal to 0 and row minus minus. Okay, so this loop is started. In that, this is loop for spaces. You can see that in here, we can see there is a one space. Okay, one space. So let's starting from the 0 space and less than n. So in still n is 5 and is 7 and 7 minus row minus 1. So row is starting at 0 minus 1. So space is what closer dot out. So it will only one space. Taken. And is 0 minus row minus 1. Okay. So let me just see the code try run. Okay. That row is equal to my n minus 2. So it's 0 upper parameter ready printed 2. So start now. Space doesn't change. Formula doesn't change. Space is equal to main n minus row minus 1 example. Space is 5 minus 1 1 is equal to the output. Star formula is still star is equal to 2 multiplied by 1 plus 1. Okay. Here is the complete code and try it. Upper half rows is 0, space is 4, star is not printing. Okay. 1, 3, 3. Okay. So if I was not good in mathematics, but if the pattern I must see, if someone is good in mathematics, so they have not facing a difficult issue to printing a pattern because some they will just simply follow a pattern and they're just creating a formula on the basis of pattern and just simply printing this diamond pattern. Okay. So if you have to printing any pattern, I think it's about the mathematics because you can see that here is some formula has been followed. You see that star is 2 multiplied by row plus my 1. Okay, so simply a formula has been working on that. Okay, so this is the integration of that. What whenever you see a diamond pattern thing, print the normal parameter, print the same parameter in reverse, and skip the middle rows to the way down. That's why we start from n minus 2. Okay, n minus 2 is starting from n minus 2 because in here you can see that this is the n value and we removing the n minus 2, so it's been printed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Okay. So there it is. Okay, so now I'm just moving to the diamond star pattern has been come successfully done. Okay, and the next part is print star diagnostic pattern. Let's see what how it's look. I think this pattern name has been sounded like it should be difficult. Print star diagnostic pattern. Okay, so this is a star pattern. That's mean a cross pattern, and there is so many spaces. So here is the program. Okay, so that's a program. Let's see this code. N is equal to my 5, and this is the row starting from the n and row plus plus. And let's pattern. This is simply nothing, print nothing. Okay, and let column starting from the 0, column is zero, and column plus plus plus. And if rows is equal to column, if rows is equal to column, and rows plus column is equal to n minus 1, pattern should from a star, otherwise else. Okay, let me just copy this code, and first thing I simply comment this program. Okay, because actually we don't need it because this code has been working successfully. So here is the start pattern, and if it is 8, 8. Okay, num block is now on. I think num is not working. 8. And now I run it. Here is the star cross pattern by 8. Okay, if I was right in 9, then it is. And if I was right in 11, I think it was not. Okay. But I think whenever I just write 8, okay. You can see that. Okay, I just getting a call, so I can just simply back post the wait a few seconds. By the way, rather than just go offline, I will just solve a 1 to 2 question. So as Sunday and I have an extra work, so I can just continue this streaming session on the tomorrow. From now, I just solve a 2 question just for a consistency. I know it's not a growth progress in this streaming, so but we can just continue it tomorrow. And before moving to the tomorrow, I will just practicing this question because it's something tricky. Because I think I just need a good practice to in a star pattern filtering because the pattern has been look something tricky. Okay, for that code, I have just need to write in a dry run, and I don't making any what to get for this dry run. Okay, so I will just continue it from the tomorrow. So bye bye, take care, and I will just back soon in the tomorrow. So